Alright folks, here are the notes for section 6.6, and in this section we're going to be finding surface area again, but we're going to have slightly more complicated shapes. And here's an example of one. Looks kind of like a house. So you can see we've got a rectangular prism or a box on the bottom and then a triangular prism here on top. Okay, now also notice that there is no top on the box. Okay, it's all open inside and there's no bottom on the triangular prism. Okay, so we have to keep that in mind when we find the surface area. So when you're doing these, the first question I think you should ask yourself is how many faces are there? Because we're going to find the surface area by adding the area of each face up. Okay, we're going to find the area of each face and then add them up to get the total surface area. So let's figure out how many faces are there in this 3D shape here. Okay, well, we've got this front and the back of the box, so there's one in back, one in front, two. We've got the sides of the box, 3, 4. We have the bottom of the box, just again the bottom, no top. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the box. And then for this triangular prism, we got the roof here, if you will, 1, 2, 3 for the front and 4 for the back triangle. So 2 triangles and 2 rectangles for the roof, if you will, up here, this part of the house. So we've got 5 for the rectangle, 4 for the top part, so we have 9 total faces. So we're going to find 9 areas and add them up. Okay, and that'll give us our total surface area. So let's just go through here again. I'm going to highly recommend, I know it's a lot of work for each problem, but keep an organized list. It really helps keep things straight. Okay, so face number 1, I'm going to call that the front of the box here. Its dimensions are 16 length and 4 tall, so 16 by 4. Okay, there's face number 1. Face number 2 is the same thing, but it's just in the back, 16 times 4. Now the area of each of those 16 times 4 is 64 square meters. Okay, again, we're just going to keep these going, keep a running total here. We'll add them up at the end, and then we're all set. Okay, so the side rectangles here are going to be my next 2 faces, and their dimensions are 5 by 4. Okay, so face 3 and face 4 are these side rectangles, one on the right, one on the left, and they're 5 by 4. Okay, which gives an area of 20 square meters for each one. Okay, so that's almost the bottom rectangular prism here, the bottom box, but we have the base here, this bottom part of the box, which is 16 by 5 meters. So that's face number 5, 16 by 5, and 16 times 5 is 80. Okay, if you need to use a calculator for this, that's fine. These take a lot of time to do, and if the calculator's great, it'll save you a little bit of time for each problem. What I'm most interested in is you keeping a list here, not missing any of the faces, and just being very deliberate and very careful as you find the surface area of your shapes. Okay, so we got 5, that's the bottom. Now let's do the top part, this triangular prism that looks kind of like a roof. Okay, so let's look at these rectangles here that make up these slanted parts, and they are 5 by 10. Okay, so that's face 6 and face 7. That's these rectangles here that are 5 by 10, which gives us 50 for each one, 50 square meters. Okay, again, we have 9 faces. We're almost there. The last 2 are the triangle in the front and the triangle in the back. So face 8 and face 9 are triangles. Their dimensions are 16 across the base by 6 meters tall. So 16 times 6. Or I'm sorry, 16 by 6, not 16 times 6. 16 meters across the bottom, 6 meters tall. Now their area, remember, is 16 times 6 divided by 2, which if you trust me is 48. Okay, this one's the same thing, 16 times 6, the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle divided by 2, which is also 48. So now I have 9 areas to add up. Okay, and well, shoot, let's see. I was going to let's do it. I'll do it in my head. Okay, 64 and 64 make 128. Again, you're more than welcome to use a calculator. 20 and 20 make 40. And we got 80 for here and 100 for those. And these guys, 48 plus 48 make 96. Okay, so 40 plus 80 is 120 plus 100 is 220. And here's where I lose it in my head, so I'm going to work it out over here on the side. 220 plus 128 plus 96. Okay, again, 40 plus 80 is 120 plus 100. These three make 220 when I add them up. So let's add these up. 8 and 6, 14. 1 up here, 3, 5, plus 9 makes 14. And 1 up here, 3, oh, look at that, 444. That's a nice number. Okay, so assuming I did that right, 40, yeah, I think I did. Okay, so the total surface area is 444 square meters. Okay, well there it is. Again, figure out how many faces there are. Find the area of each face. Add them all up at the end to get your total surface area. And I highly recommend, I know it's a lot of work, but keep an organized list so you don't miss a face as you're figuring out your surface area. Okay, thank you very much. Please let me know if you have any questions.